Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time and a very long off season. I'm Alexandra Romage, and we're back with a new name. We are now the Romage Collective, where we cover sports, beauty, health, fashion, lifestyle, anything in between, all above, all of that. So if you think you'd be interested in anything like that, please follow this channel. We're not just focusing on one topic every single time. So if you are not a sports fan or not a beauty fan, you still stick around because there's definitely going to be something that you like here. We're going to be reviewing the Baltimore Ravens, our personnel, our team, and everything before the season opener against the Kansas City Chiefs, Thursday, September 5th at 8:20 p.m. Eastern. We all know that last season that was supposed to be ours. The Ravens were definitely supposed to win the season, but once again in the playoffs, we were exposed in the AFC Championship game. Now it's a new season and it's just time to get into it and everything that's going on with the Ravens. First, I'd like to get started with the new exciting additions to our team that's happened since the season ended. First, we have to talk about the Derrick Henry signing. We now have an elite running back here on our team. I'll never forget when he ran us down and kicked our asses in 2019, during the 2019-2020 season, during the playoffs. It was a very hard loss, but I'm very glad we have Derrick Henry. I know a lot of times in many important games, we go away from the run when we're definitely a team that's identified by our rush offense, but now that we do have such an elite weapon in Derrick Henry and we don't have to rely on Lamar running too much, I can see amazing plays being drawn out for Derrick Henry, and as long as he stays healthy, he's going to be nearly impossible to stop with the great offense and the schemes that we run. So that is going to be extremely, extremely exciting. I do feel like Derrick Henry is going to bring our run game to a whole nother level, although we are always usually on top when it comes to the run. Having one of the top running backs in the league on our team is going to be such a great, huge addition for us. Next, I want to talk about the rookie cornerback, Nate Wiggins. If you watch the first preseason game, you would see that Nate Wiggins, he was all over the ball, doing it all, and he seems like he's going to be a super important asset. He did go down the first preseason game with a slight injury, but it seems like he's on track to be healthy this season. As long as we keep his health, I feel like our Ravens defense will still be just as great as it was the season before. He fits in very well for the team in itself, so I think that's going to be very good for this season. Other changes that we're seeing this season, we do have some losses. The Ravens had their assistant coaches swept through. We had such an amazing season last season. They picked out many of our assistant coaches. One of the greatest losses I would say that we had was to our defensive coordinator, Mike Macdonald. He's now the head coach for the Seattle Seahawks. He's no longer a defensive coordinator, and he was an amazing asset to the defense. I know a lot of people wanted him to have a head coaching position, but he is a defensive-minded coach, and we do not know how that would have worked out for the Ravens enterprise in the long run. So we do hope that Mike Macdonald has a great season with the Seahawks. We're very happy for him that he was able to get a great contract as a coach. He deserves it. But this is definitely going to be a season where we're seeing how these plays are ran for the defense now that he's gone. Now let's get into potential breakout seasons. Besides the new additions that were mentioned previously, we want to talk about outside linebacker Trent Simpson. Eric DeCosta, he's definitely always believed in him, and that's another reason why there didn't seem to be a need to sign Patrick Queen, because Trent Simpson is very promising. We're hoping that he has a very healthy season, but it's looking very prosperous. He's looking great in practice. He's doing exactly what needs to be done. He's very young. In the preseason games, he's had multiple solo tackles. He seems like he's going to be very great for our team, so I'm very happy that he gets to have his breakout year this season. Next, let's talk about our new defensive coordinator, Zach Orr. He's been a Raven for so long. He's been part of the organization. I think it's amazing that he's having this opportunity to truly show his skills and his worthiness of becoming the defensive coach. He is someone who's very dedicated and passionate, and he knows how to fire all of the guys up. So I think he's going to have a great breakout year as well. Now let's get into some people that might be in the hot seat for this season. These are people who absolutely have to have a great season and show us something different, or it could mean the end of an era as a Ravens. First, we have to start with the head coach, John Harbaugh. He did face a lot of scrutiny last season for a lot of the game time decisions he would make or decisions that he wouldn't make. It did look like he was in the hot seat for his job. So although he is once again our head coach for this season, I do believe that this season we do have to see a lot more, especially in the postseason, because if things kind of end up the same exact way as they have the past few years, I do think John Harbaugh is at risk for his head coaching job. Please let me know your thoughts on John Harbaugh as our head coach and like your opinions on him and what you would maybe like to see from him. Do you think that he's rightfully so in the hot seat for the season, or do you believe that he's just fine? Next, we have to talk about wide receiver Rashad Bateman. I'm sure you guys were waiting for this. He had kind of a quiet season last season, and with his injuries, and especially during the off season and during preseason, this has to be a breakout year for Rashad Bateman. We really do hope that he delivers, because the Ravens are in great need of a wide receiver core that is going to step up and really help Lamar out. And because that's a big area where we get exposed, especially every postseason. We need more than just Zay Flowers to deliver in the wide receiver area. So we definitely need to see something from Rashad Bateman this season. It's going to be a lot of eyes on him. I'm sure he's facing a lot of scrutiny, but I do hope that he's able to have a big breakout season, because EDC believes in him. There's many fans who do believe in him and want to see him thrive on the field, want to see him making those tough catches. We did see he causes a lot of separation. We're hoping that he built more chemistry with Lamar in the offseason, that Lamar has more trust in him. Next, we have our linebacker, Odafe Owe. That's another person who's been under a lot of scrutiny, who we're still waiting to see break out and kind of deliver for the Ravens. It's been reported that he's been doing really great in practice, but we have to be convinced on the field. We have to be convinced during the season. This is also a really big year for Odafe Owe, so he definitely has to deliver this season too. Last person I want to mention who's in the hot seat, we have to mention Ronnie Stanley, our offensive tackle. So Ronnie Stanley did have a very specific contract. He's basically playing for his playing back for his spot and respect on the team. After injuries, he had a very rough season, and Lamar has definitely expressed his frustrations with him on and off the field, but we definitely want to make sure that Ronnie Stanley is back at full health and doing the things he did in his earlier seasons. we can't afford to have anyone slacking on the offensive line because we know they will be coming for Lamar. I would say that my main concerns this season, number one for me, will have to be the wide receiver core. I still do believe that the Ravens should have found a way to sign on an elite wide receiver, someone who's a real weapon at wide receiver, to take some of the load off of Zay Flowers. I know we want to believe that Nelson Aguilar and Rashad Bateman will be able to deliver for this team, but it has been kind of frustrating over the years not seeing Lamar Jackson have a weapon wide receiver. I do feel like the Ravens have used up a lot of his years when it comes to the running and focusing on the run, but sometimes you need that wide receiver to make that play. Hopefully, Zay Flowers, I do believe he can become that kind of elite wide receiver weapon that Lamar needs. But that is my first main concern when it comes to going into this season, since we didn't make any upgrades in the wide receiver room. Next, we have to talk about the offensive line. Maybe some people might think that that should be like the number one concern because our offensive line has been weaker, and I still believe that more people can get signed on throughout the season, but we definitely need our offensive linemen to step up and protect Lamar. Ensure the health of our star quarterback and our star running back. So we definitely need our offensive line to step up this season. Another concern I have can be about Coach Harbaugh. He has frustrated me a bit. He has frustrated me in the past season, and I want to believe that he's going to make the right decision this time around in this season, but we will just have to see. I don't have too many concerns when it comes to Lamar. I would just love to see him stay healthy throughout the season, deliver us another MVP season, which I'm sure he won't fall any short of. The AFC Championship game against the Chiefs was extremely winnable. It was just some decisions that we needed to make that weren't made. So I'm hoping during the season opener, I do feel like this game is very winnable. I'd like to see us really take them down and get our revenge. So that was just all of my main concerns and what I've observed during the off season when it comes to this upcoming season, going into the season opener. I'm really, really excited for this season. Let me know your thoughts below. Let me know what you want to see from the Ravens, what your main concerns are, and in like what sectors you'd like to see us improve in. I will be going live. I will be live streaming during halftime of the season opener on Thursday, September 5th. It will be my first live stream here, and this can be a space where we discuss what we've seen during the first half, what we're excited to see during the second half, and just expressing our thoughts. I'm really excited, and I hope that all my subscribers and new Ravens fam can come and join me. I plan on getting so much more Ravens content pumped out throughout this season. I'm very excited to deliver, and I'm very excited to hear all of y'all's thoughts and for us to come back together for the best time of the year. This is Alexandra Romage from the Romage Collective, and we are signing out. See you guys next time.